Alright y'all, sorry for any wind noise that there might be. Today we are here with the G35. We have some unfortunate news with all the beating and abuse that I've been doing to it. It has unfortunately thrown a bearing, I assume. The motor's blown, completely donezo. I'll let y'all get a listen to it.
Definitely toast somewhere.
But we're gonna go ahead, get it loaded up on the trailer, and then from there, we'll take it back to my shop. We're working on getting a motor this weekend, get it thrown in, get it back on the road. I'm not gonna talk too much at the beginning of this. We're at Ron's shop right now. Appreciate him for letting us store here. We were drifting about a mile down the road and everything was running great. We don't even really know what happened. I did a rollback and like not even on purpose. Did a rollback, just cut the car off, talked to some friends for a few minutes, went to go turn it back on about 15 minutes later, and it was just making a god-awful noise. So
I already know you guys can hear it whenever I'm loading up, but here's the sound up close. Definitely toast somewhere.
Alright you guys, so we are back at the shop. We have the car now. We're getting ready to unload it off of the trailer. Got to move the LS400 out of the shop first. Might have to jump it. It's been a while since it's been driven.
I go to all the same places, not even a trace of you. Your days are numbered at 24, and I'm getting bored waiting around for you. We're not getting any.
All right, y'all. So we got the car pulled in. I'm gonna start off. We got some new mics. Hopefully the audio is gonna be a little bit better. I know it's been really windy. For instance, in the video where I was picking up the G35, just wasn't it. So trying to upgrade the quality a little bit. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Today we're gonna be swapping the motor on the G35. I just got this motor about 4 months ago. Only had 90,000 miles on it, but I've just been abusing the living shit out of it for the past 4 months since I had the car. If you kept up with the channel, you know what's already done to the car, but for those that are new, we have a welded diff, we have all the control arms in the rear. It's on Part Shop Max, true coilovers all around with like 18K in the front, 12K in the rear on spring rates. The lower control arms are Part Shop Max. Pretty much the whole angle kit's Part Shop Max. We have the dual caliper setup in the rear. That's Part Shop Max with Brimbos. And then we're running the GK Tech full hydraulic handbrake. I'll show you guys that. This is the e-brake setup from the inside. Looks pretty clean. I went with OEM Plus style. I still got to get bucket seats in the future. Obviously, getting a new motor is going to set that back a little bit, but that's enough talking. Let's get into work and get this thing jacked up. All right, y'all, so we went ahead and got the radiator off. That gives us way more access to everything. We can get this power steering pump off. We can get the AC lines off. I'm about to take off the intake box, get a few grounds disconnected. And then while this drains out, I'm gonna go to the bottom side, disconnect the drive shaft, start getting the shift linkage all disconnected from the inside. And we'll just go from there. These are really easy motors to pull. Like whenever you're really hauling ash, you can get this out in probably like 3 hours. I'll see what I can do. I gotta wait for some of this coolant to dry because I don't feel like laying in it. But I think we'll be able to get it done pretty quickly. We're gonna get it yanked out tonight, and then goal is tomorrow, if the deal goes right, we're supposed to go get a 90,000 mile rev up from Fort Worth. This one also had 90,000 miles on it, but shit blew.
Let's try it. There's no need to apologize. Got no time, got no time. I feel no sympathy. You live inside a cave. You barely get by. The rest of us are trying. There's no need to apologize.
All right, y'all, so we have made a ton of progress on the motor. We went ahead, got everything on the top side. There was a few things that I was missing. The last thing we got to get is this coolant hose right here. It's a bitch. I just haven't been wanting to tackle it. I've been purposely doing everything except that. But got the wiring harness out from the inside. You just have to disconnect the ECU. And then this one, if you're having trouble with this connector, there's like a plastic locking tab that comes over here. Just put a screwdriver in right here on this corner and then twist the screwdriver. You don't even got to give it a lot of force. You'll see it pop out. If it still doesn't want to fully come to the same side come do the same thing on this corner. Just twist it and then the latch will come out. This just pulls out and then this comes. That's all you need for the interior wiring harness to come out. You don't have to disconnect all the other things that are next to it. Go ahead and remove this brace from under the car so that the transmission can slip past everything a little bit easier. And then we got the transmission mount out. We got the shifter bracket out. I had to take apart a little bit of the interior to get to that. Nothing too crazy. I was even able to leave my e-brake in there. Pretty nice. Motor mounts unbolted, as well as the drive shaft. Just slipped the drive shaft. It's still sitting up there with the exhaust and stuff. It just slipped out of the transmission. It's a bitch to fish it in and out, so that's just what I did with it. Don't forget your grounds. You don't want to break your grounds. There's also a ground strap over here. It clips in right here. It's just a little push tab. Let me show you guys. This guy right here. Don't forget this. You don't want to break it. Clips on that, and then you just push it and pull it off like an electrical connector. The connector on the bottom of the AC compressor, that's pretty shitty to get to. I just used a screwdriver and again used the twist method to kind of pop it out of there. Other than that, everything's pretty straightforward. Put a new jack on this. Whenever I was switching shops, I don't know if y'all can tell, it's a new shop. We got a drywall in here, pretty nice. But whenever I was switching shops, I loaded this upside down in the truck. And it was fine the whole ride, but whenever we went to go unload it, the thing popped out of the cylinder. This came up too far, popped out of the cylinder, and we just it hasn't been the same since. So went ahead, got a new jack, throw that on there. So here's how we have the chain routed. It goes over under the throttle body and wraps around the intake manifold, wraps up here around the timing cover, and then it all connects with this bolt. It should be pretty secure. Up here is definitely very secure. The only part you have to worry about back here is not damaging anything on the throttle body or the intake plenum itself. So just be careful with that. But I'm gonna go ahead, get all this connected up. Got the new jack on the hoist, so go ahead and yank this bitch. Oh, I lied. I still gotta get that bitch ass coolant hose that I was telling you all about. I do not want to do that. Forget to unbolt your slave cylinder like I did. There's a 1 bolt that goes straight into it. If you disconnect that, you're gonna have to re-bleed your clutch if you care about that. If you don't want to have to bleed your clutch, there's 2 bolts that connect it to the trans. Just disconnect those. Everything will stay connected, like fluid wise. That's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna replace that slave cylinder while I'm in here, but I don't want it leaking everywhere while I'm waiting. Brake fluid is annoying to clean up. It's either a 14 or a 12. So it is 8 p.m. I wish I had a watch or something to show you guys. We started recording, removing the bumper at about 4:45. So it took us 3 hours, 15 minutes to pull the motor. Not bad at all. Go ahead, get the shop cleaned up. It's a freaking mess right now. We're dripping coolant, dripping gear fluid. Tomorrow, I'll go ahead, separate the trans from the engine in the morning. And then whenever he's ready, I'll shoot down to Houston or Fort Worth. I forget what it is. And we'll pick up that motor and then come connect it to this trans and throw it back in. I don't know if I'll get it thrown in tomorrow. If I don't, I'm gonna come home after work on Monday, get it thrown in. All right, y'all, so we went to Texas, Fort Worth today, and got a new rev up motor. It's got an intake spacer on it, probably like a 15 mil, I'm not too sure. Did not come with the wiring harness, did come with the clutch, which is nice because last night I got bored. I said I was gonna wait till today, but last night I separated the trans from this motor, pulled the clutch out. This thing is pretty shot. All fucked up. There's heat spots all over the flywheel. So hoping that he gave me a single mass flywheel. I still got to check everything out. I didn't get a chance to, but I'm definitely going to use whatever clutch he gave me as long as it's good. Said it's cold as fuck compared to what it was the other day. I think I jinxed whatever weather we had because it's been like 70 degrees for the past week and now it's cold. It's going to be cold for the next 2 days and then it'll be warm. So I definitely jinxed it. Cherry picker set up. I'm gonna back the truck up in here so I don't have to deal with the lip and everything. And then I'll lift up the motor and then just pull the truck out and then I'll have all the room to play with that I need. So set y'all up, get to it. Thank you, I appreciate it. Well, that went perfectly to plan. Cannot complain about that. It's cold as fuck. I am gonna complain about that. I'm gonna get this lowered down. I know we gotta swap over motor mounts. Gotta swap over a few lines and swap over the harness. That'll be fun. See if anything else got broke. Not his fault, but shit always tends to get broken whenever motors get pulled. Working on getting this wiring harness off right now. These are never fun, but it has to be done. All right, leave that right there so I remember. Go ahead, lower this guy down. I lost my bar. I found my bar, don't worry. I didn't need you guys anyway.
height. We can even put it at chest height so I can work with it. That's cool. Got the header off on this side, taking off this motor mount. Stock motor mount out. Let's see what I did. All right, there it is. Looking a little bit better with this stuff.
All right, y'all. So we're at the shop. It's like 2 days later. It was cold as hell yesterday, so I didn't come up here. But I did stay at the shop where there's heat and AC, and I spent some time kind of resurfacing this. You can use a palm sander or an orbital sander and kind of get it down with that. But we had some valve grinding compound and a rotor that was pretty close to the size of the contact patch. So I went ahead and just put some valve grinding compound on the rotor and spun it around. I wouldn't recommend doing that at home, but it worked out great for us, knocked down all the hot spots, all the high and low spots, and it made it a way better surface for the clutch to grab. This is better than me having to buy a new flywheel. I already bought a new motor. This motor came with a really good clutch from Luck. It's an OEM replacement, but the flywheel is a dual mass flywheel. It's expensive, but it's not great for what I'm trying to do. It revs really slow. I got used to this lightweight flywheel. I like it a lot more. So resurface this. I'm gonna throw it on there, and then I'll use the clutch that came with the motor, and then I got a new OEM throwout bearing, and we'll reinstall everything, put the trans on. First, sliding the transmission on. Last time I did it in the bed of the truck, it was pretty easy. Just had the transmission sitting there, and then I lifted the motor up to the height, then I connected them. That was a pretty solid way to do it. I'm gonna try something a little bit different this time. We got the engine sitting just towards touching the ground, and then I'm just gonna try to slide this on. I'll set y'all up. Hopefully it all works out.
I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one, and I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk up. My shadow's only one that walks beside me. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone out there will find me. Till then I walk alone.
We got everything, mostly everything put together on the car. We got the 350C radiator mounted up with our G35 condenser and fans. Everything fits pretty nicely. It doesn't sit perfectly flush against it, but it's fine because it gives it the room it needs for this. And then there's still plenty of room between the motor and everything. None of that's gonna touch. I already made sure. Coolant lines hooked up, all of our fuel lines, got the transmission filled with fluid, topped off the oil because it was just a little bit low, put power steering fluid in it. Coolant, I don't know if I already said that. So should be ready to start. We got the battery hooked up now. Does squeak a little bit. I can live with that. See if she wants to start. right on it. Oh, check engine light already. We'll check that out and see what's going on. But idle and smooth. Let it warm up for a little bit. I'll give it some revs. While I was looking for the vacuum leak, I noticed that this hose wasn't connected. So I went over to the other motor, checked it out. That hose comes from here over to this fitting right here. We got 2 hoses. Goes to the fuel regulator area. Come on this car, and we have the fitting, but it's got one broken off. So we'll go ahead and swap that over. That'll fix the vacuum leak, and then we can go ahead and take it on a test drive.